On today's video, I'll be showing you guys what's on our morning baskets for our circuit time. Yeah, babe. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Thanda Xaba. Thank you so much for tuning in. On today's video, I'll be showing you guys what's in my baskets. This is the basket I use to keep all the books in here. I'll leave a link where you can get this basket from. These are the books that we get from our local library. The plan is we get these books from the library and you are given, I think, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I'm not sure, but you can request for a longer period. Like I normally request for 6 weeks. Then I know I have a month and a half to read and return the books. So right now we need to go and exchange these books. So that's why I wanted to film this before we get rid of them, because it's so nice to see what you have read in the past. And you can also check out my baskets. I think it was in 2020 or 2019 where I showed you guys what's in our baskets, and I can actually do a baskets video every time before I go and change books. That will be nice for you guys to see what we read, and also for me to reflect back and see how far we've come as a family. Please comment down below, do you guys go to the library? What kind of books do you take when you go with your kids? Do you go with your kids or do you go alone? That will be so interesting to find out. This is how I have grouped them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like 9 groups. Don't ask me how I group them. Okay, I must say this, I got all these books from our local library, and I have 5 kids, 6 years and under, so it's very difficult to pick books that my 1-year-old can enjoy and my 6.5-year-old can enjoy. So I'll start with these ones. These ones are for I'll say for my youngest, but even the older ones, they love these books. They read them as well. It's basically, when you look at it, it's very nice. It's my sparkling colors. This one is talking about farm and this one's talking about garden. It's very nice, and when you move the book, I don't know if you can see, it's like sparkling. So it's a very nice book and it's very colorful. So this is what I have for my little one. I also have this group, people who help us. If you saw from the previous video where I was showing you guys our circle time, you saw that we use one of these books to learn about different careers, basically about people who help us. This one, it's about the teacher, machine driver, a chef, doctor, CNO, a firefighter. Please forgive me, I have my 2 daughters here, so okay, so these are from this series, people who help us. I love these books. Like, I'm not just saying that, I love them so much. Here we're talking about a chef. It gives a child a better understanding of what a chef does on a day-to-day basis, and it's a very nice read. And then the other one, it's about a teacher. So the way these books are written is it's almost like they're taking a child to that person's profession. If it's a teacher, they're taking a child to the classroom, and they're explaining all the things that the teacher does with the kids. See you now? No. Sorry, my daughter pushed the camera. Oh, and she's moving it now. See you now, baby. No, don't touch it. Okay? Okay, I'm sorry about that. My daughter was pulling the camera, so I have her on my back now. Okay, so these are the books that I was talking about. As you can see, it's almost like you are here in this construction site and they tell you the role of the machine driver and everyone else that work with that person. Like I was with the firefighter. One of my daughter loves firefighters, so this is like one of her favorite books at the moment. So these are from different publishers, right? Yes, it's not the same. It's not written by Amanda. So these books, I love them. They talk about, they really explain what each profession does. We did this one as well. I'm a doctor. I was also amazed with the facts and some of the things that even you as an adult, maybe you're not even aware of. So it goes into detail about the profession and gives an overview basically. So that's the people who help us. If you don't know how we're reading these books, you can check out our cycle time. And then we have this one, taking turns. This one is also talking about taking turns, really. This is the story. I think they have 2 stories inside here. This book, I love it because and the reason why I really chose it at the library, not the other ones. Let me show you. As you are reading it, it will have questions here, like what do you think will happen next, asking a child. So you're not just reading to a child. Okay, babe, she's coming. You're not just reading to a child, but they get to have an input on the story and on the feelings, on how the other person feels, that kind of stuff. So I really love that. I love it. It's hard to have subjects for all these books, but I use this on the cycle time for our character building, I would say. And this book is also about understanding why are all families different. So it tells the child why a family is different. And you know what's nice? You can read just 1 page and then you talk about siblings, or you talk about cousins and aunts and uncles, and that's so nice. And they also have this family tree, so you can explain to a child and make your own family tree. And yeah, like, I love it, and the kids love this book as well. It's actually the 2nd time we're taking from the library because we loved it that much. Moving on, let's come to this one. This is also a series. How many books? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure of the books in here. So what's nice about this series, it has the reading level, plus it focuses on one food group. This one is focusing on fats, oils and sweets. So, and then it talks about that. And this one as well. This one's talking about eating right, so it's not really focusing on one food group. And it also has this, the food pyramid. So it's good. We also took books from this What's for Lunch series. This one is talking about milk, and this one about oranges. And I love their pictures, like they're so real. You can see this is an orange farm, and you can see the oranges on a tree. It talks about different stages.
Yum, yum, yum.
And this one's talking about milk. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Cows are mammals.
And this is a big cow.
Yeah, it's a big cow. Do you see it? The cow and the calf.
Mama,
Hmm?
the cow is standing.
It's standing, yes. The cow is standing.
No, mommy, it's standing.
It's drinking. It's scary.
That is so.
So these are the 3 books we currently have about animals, and we're focusing on wild animals. I love this one. I love this book as the kids can read the book on their own. Well, the twins are... Okay, the twins are the kids I'm referring to. They can read this book, so they can read this book to their sisters. And yeah, it talks about different kind of wild animals. Can a giraffe lick its ear? What do you think? Do you know the answer? Please comment down below if you know the answer. So yeah, it talks about everything. And then this one also talks about the wild animals. We've used this ready to, I don't know what it's called, ready to read extreme animals, but we had the extreme, I think, insects before. So I also love it. I love the pictures. And yeah. And then lastly we have animal babies. This one talks about animal babies. It talks about what they eat and how long they breastfeed babies and what are their babies called. So it's also a very nice book. So this one talks about the water cycle, and let's see. So it explains the water cycle in a very simplified manner. My kids have read all these books on their own, and we read them together. And then this one, it's from clay to bricks. It talks about how to make bricks, basically, from clay to bricks. It's interesting for me because it talks about materials, and it kind of reminds me when I was still at university in my engineering degree, learning about different materials. And here I am with 6-year-olds already learning this. Okay. And we have these two books. I don't know how to categorize these, but these are like the old books, but I love them. Some of these books are a long read, really. Like, we don't use it for cycle time, and we read them for story time, but we just keep them in one basket. Okay. And sometimes I use these books for our read aloud. So currently these are the books that we have. And then this one as well, quite a long read for bedtime. But I love it. Second last group. Okay, we're almost done. A first book of measuring. I think, if I'm not sure, but I think on my video where I showed you guys what's in my baskets in 2019, I had this book or another one from this series, because it's not the first time we're using this book, but it's great. My kids enjoy this. Big, bigger, biggest, small, smaller, smallest. So my 3-year-old can learn from this, and my 6-year-old already know these things, but it's good, and they love to read this to their little sisters. Okay, and then this is the alphabet book, and it's also an old book. And as you can see, in each page you're focusing on one letter and the words that begin with that sound, like ducks dive down in the ditch. Okay. And yeah, and then what's also interesting is you need to spot this little duckling, so you must look for the duck on all the pages. You must spot the duck, so as we are reading, the kids can then look. Can you see it? It's over there. So it is quite interesting. Lastly, I have this pile. These are the books that my girls use to read on their own. They can read anything really, but these ones I took them specifically for reading. This one is on stage 5. That's the level of reading, and we actually started this series from 0 with the twins, so it's very nice to see how far we've gone. 0 or level 1, I think. It doesn't have words, just pictures, so now they can read this on their own. Yes, so it's this one and this one is on, yeah, it's also level 5, and they can read this. They do struggle with some of the words, and I have to help them, but for the most part they can read almost everything. And then I also took these teaching notes. I once took them, so I was so excited to find them at the library, because they are for stage 4, but I love that they're telling you, so basically it's like a mini curriculum. So it's like they have speaking and listening, reading, writing. So they have different books in stage 4, which I couldn't find the one for stage 5, which is fine, but I can just use these notes and apply them to any book that we get to do. The other books we've done already, so we know them. And yeah, I'm actually planning on keeping this even when we return the books from the library. Okay, so it will be nice to get another one for all the stages. That will be awesome, but I haven't seen them at the library. So this is the series. It's Oxford Reading Tree. We love it. We love it. I mentioned it on my Instagram years back even, because we've been using this for years. We are loving it. And then this is a book that my kids wanted to take. It's in Afrikaans. Okay, and then there's also this book. This one's level 2. Okay, so this thing about reading levels, I've seen that it's a science on its own. It really does feel like science. I can go into detail on how I grade my twins reading level if that's something that you guys might be interested in. But this one is on level 2, and then these there's short stories inside, so my twins can read this. This is what they read when they're having their like quiet time or whatever time. Yeah. And then this one as well, this is also a nice book. It's just one story, The Great Soap Mystery. And sometimes they take these books for story time, like at night, and they can ask their dad or me to read it to them. So sometimes we do that, but sometimes they just read these books on their own. Okay, when I go to the library, I go with my kids most of the time. I take books that I can use for our morning baskets, but also I also let my kids choose any book that they want, and that's always fun, to choose the books they like. Then it will encourage them to read those books. And then I also focus, like we've seen on the previous video where I was talking about on our morning baskets, that we focus on a number of things like character building, Bible study, and talking about nature, about people who help us, that kind of stuff. So when I go to the library, I already know what I want, kind of. Like right now, as you saw in this series, then you know what's missing. Like you need to talk about the farmer or the builder. It's also important to have the books that are rated for reading level, so that kids can read and then they can also improve. So what I do is I get books that are in their level, and then books that are above their reading level, and then books that are below their reading level. Well, it's not by choice, honestly. I have younger siblings, so when you're looking at my 6-year-old, there might be books that are too easy for them to read but are still difficult for my 3-year-old, for example. So I just want to have variety of books in my baskets to make sure that all of them are interested in reading and can learn. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a massive thumbs up and don't forget to share it with your friends, and then I'll see you on the next one. Please follow me on social media. I'll leave all my links in the description box. Bye.